Okay, so what I'm going to do quickly is introduce you to the IntelliLan IoT Network, which is an Internet of Things network I've been developing for the last number of years. And then I'll show you how I can use the microchip implanted into my hand to authenticate onto that network using a Windows Universal application. As you can see, the network is still in development. It's not a commercial project at the moment. I'm hoping to launch it at some point in the next year or so. Some of the devices on this network are part of my competition entry for the IBM Global Mobile Innovators Tournament. I'm in the semi-finals for that, and I'll be competing in Amsterdam next week for a place in the final. So this is where it all began, the Intel Galileo development board. These are the first boards that I began programming on for the Internet of Things. One of these boards was awarded to me by Microsoft for one of my project ideas as part of the Windows development program for IoT. Everything kind of escalated from there. I also develop on Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, and now I develop my own custom circuit boards, which will soon be converted to PCB circuits. So the main device on the network is the jumpway, and what this does is it acts as a gateway between the rest of the network and the internet. It has several sensors on there like sound, light, proximity, temperature and things like that, and it also has a CCTV unit connected to it, and I can monitor the rest of the network and the features of the board itself from anywhere in the world. It's the only board that is connected to the outside world. The rest of the devices send information that they pick up from their sensors back to the board, which then distributes it to the internet. And it's currently connected with IoT Foundation, Azure, and obviously my own custom server. Those two boards aren't connected up at the moment. One of them is a speech recognition unit, the other one's a Raspberry Pi. And this is the fingerprint or Authway FP. And what this does is obviously I can scan my finger onto there, and it can authenticate me onto the network by detecting that my fingerprint is an allowed fingerprint to access the network. And then on the opposite side we have the built on the Arduino Uno. It's the NFC scanner, and there's the actual scanner there. And what that does is the same as the fingerprint. It authenticates me onto the network, and this is the device that I'll be showing you in a minute on how I can scan my hand and access into the network using the microchip implanted into my hand. This device here is basically a standalone unit that's got a built-in Wi-Fi unit on there, and it is sensors for doors and windows. And basically when the doors and windows are open, that sends information along the network up to the servers and then distributed across the various different applications that control it and monitor it. And then this is the final device that I'm going to show you today. This is my own version of, well, you could call it an Arduino if you like. This is my own custom built circuit board that I'm developing at the moment, and eventually all of the boards that I develop will be my own devices. So what I'm doing now is loading up the Windows Universal application that I'm developing at the moment. This includes weak artificial intelligence named TIA. It's still in development, very early stages.
Hi, my name is Tia, the Tech Bubble Intelligent Assistant. Please choose your login method to continue.
So as you can see from this page, you've got normal password authentication, NFC or near field communication, and fingerprint. So those devices that I showed you before are what are used to retrieve the relevant data and send it back through to the network for authentication. In this case we're interested in the NFC.
Thank you. Please enter your project details and the COM port that your Authway is connected to continue.
So select which COM port and click continue, and then that will then connect to the NFC device that I created.
Authway NFC online. Please scan your chip.
So this is the chip, and you can see just below that mark there is where the microchip is implanted into my hand. So I just have to get this in the right position.
Thank you. Please wait.
And then that is now sending information back to the TechBubble system to see if I'm allowed to have access to this network or not.
Thank you, Adam Milton-Barker. Authentication confirmed. Welcome.
And there we have it. So that's how I can use the microchip implanted into my hand to authenticate onto my network.